A QBR is a quarterly business review. And you do this with the key executive stakeholders, key stakeholders with your best customers, your highest earning customers. Now, here's the thing. When you do a QBR, it's a very specific presentation and you actually go through it. When done properly, you'll be able to reduce your churn, you'll be able to actually sell them more, you'll be able to increase your DRR, you'll be able to accelerate growth. QBRs are incredibly powerful. But here's the thing. No one actually looks forward to doing a QBR. Even the name itself, a quarterly business review, doesn't exactly incite excitement in any way. But when you actually do QBRs the right way, it completely transforms your business. In this episode, I'm going to walk you through the 3 principles you absolutely need to follow to turn your QBRs from boring to brilliant. 3 principles. Intro. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unstoppable. I'm TK, and on this channel, I help SaaS founders like you navigate the path to the next stage of growth, navigate the path to product market fit, and navigate the path to actually accelerating the growth for your SaaS business with an unstoppable strategy. Now, if you are new to this channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button and that bell icon. That way, you'll get notified every single time I drop an episode with the TK energy. If you're part of this community already, if you're part of my SaaS go-to-market program, my SaaS launch program, welcome back. It's really awesome to see you over here. Now, I remember when we started doing 5-figure deals and 6-figure deals at ToutApp, we switched from just self-service to sales-driven. One of the smartest things I ever did, I can't take credit for it, one of the smartest things I ever did was hire a VP of customer success. And our VP of customer success actually got hired before we brought in a VP of engineering, VP of product, even our VP of sales. Like VP of success was the first role we wanted to hit. And credit goes to Jason Lemkin, who pulled me aside at some random bar event that we were at and he said, you should do the success first, customer success first. I'm like, that's weird. I thought I would hire a VP of sales. All you ever write about is VP of sales, but his advice was spot on. So we brought on our VP of customer success, and he went on to actually establish a proper playbook on renewing our revenue and making sure our customers are successful. And one of the critical things he did was actually establish a cadence around QBRs and actually a process around QBRs. And because we did that, because we did it a certain way, we were able to actually transform our growth. In fact, I came across an old note from like one of the quarters we were looking at, we were doing a strategy session. One of the quarters, we had 219% DRR. And granted, this was from early days, so we were literally, that was our first year of going from self-service to a little bit of sales to like true customer success. We were really pushing DRR and upsells and cross-sells. But 219% DRR was incredible, but that was because we properly did QBRs. And so knowing everything that I know about building, scaling SaaS businesses, both from ToutApp and Marketo, knowing everything I learned about QBRs, I'm gonna give you the 3 principles you absolutely need to follow because they're so powerful. It'll actually help you accelerate the growth of your SaaS business. If you're excited to dig in, go ahead and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's go into principle number 1. So principle number 1 is what you need to actually do is really reframe QBRs, if you can. You can call it QBRs, and if that works, then great. What I like to call them, especially now for my best clients, is I like to call them strategy sessions. And strategy sessions are quarterly, so you can call it a quarterly strategy session. If you have a certain word that you use, so for example, if I was still in the sales engagement space, I would call it an engagement strategy session, right? So if you can call it something aside from a quarterly business review, that's gonna help you a lot. Just from a rebranding perspective, it'll just help you to get people excited that, hey, this is gonna be a big thing. So that's kind of like a table stakes, just start with that. This is almost principle number 0. So once you have that, once you have your strategy session or whatever you want to call it, instead of just a boring quarterly business review, the first principle you really need to adopt inside of these sessions, the first thing you want to nail right off the bat is you want to highlight the actions taken and the business ROI delivered. Just like straight off the bat. Because I'll tell you, I've been on both sides of the QBRs. And the thing I hate the most is I walk out of there with a to-do list and it's not even my QBR, it's the vendor's QBR. So I want to go in and I want to feel like there's going to be value, something like where I feel good about. And if you can do that for me, then you're going to earn the right for me to do more for you, whether it's buying more seats or actually pushing the transformation or something. If you can start off every meeting just without wasting any time, with momentum, I'm like, look, over the last quarter or since we started, here are the actions we've taken, and here's the clear business ROI that we've delivered, which obviously you got alignment on as you were closing the deal, right? If you can do that, if you can have a couple of slides on that or even one slide on that, literally actions taken, business ROI, you are already off to a golden start. Especially coming from an executive who doesn't want more stuff on my list to do, I'm gonna feel really good. And this is something I can probably tell others about how good this initiative is going. And that's what you really, really want. The ultimate success, truly for you, is if you get the person that actually bought the product and sponsored it, if you can get them promoted because of how successful this transformation has been, that's success for you. So if you can start to give them fodder on, here's the key business ROI we're delivering, you're gonna start winning the game. So that's principle number one. Principle number two is you should introduce some sort of an X score. So for example, we had a tout score. A tout score was a measure of how effectively you were using the platform, right? So let's just pretend there's a score between 0 and 100. If you're doing like 90, then you're crushing it. You're using everything in the platform. If you're at 50, then there's lots of room for growth. What this does, what you want to communicate through this slide or set of slides in this score is like, look, you're at X score. So what that means is there's certain things you're doing well, and you want to highlight the things that you're doing well. You also want to highlight what the benchmark is for that score. Maybe you say, like, for companies that have been with us for, let's just say 3 quarters in, they're usually at this score. So you're above that score. Like, you want to make them feel good. And then what you want to highlight is what are the opportunities? How do you actually increase that score? This is your way of showing, like, look, here's how you're doing. This is going well. Here's the benchmark. You're either below the benchmark or above the benchmark. Here's the corrective action you can take if necessary. And here's the opportunities that exist. Here's how you can unlock more of our platform. And this is a great way to, without selling for an upsell or a cross sell, highlight, oh, if you add our analytics package and your tout score goes up by 10, but also here's the business ROI you're gonna get. Here's how your engagement strategy is gonna be 10 times better. You guys starting to see this? So what you want to do is highlight the X score. And the X meaning whatever your name is. Like, it could be your company name, it could be whatever movement you're doing, whatever your manifesto is called. You know, whatever you want to call it, just call it that score and say, look, here's where you're doing well, here's the benchmark, and here's opportunities for continuous improvement. Now, I have one more principle, but before I go into that, let me just pause here for a second. Just by doing these two things and rebranding it and giving it a better name, can you start to see the power? You start to see the power of how you can actually completely transform these QBRs from just boring QBRs that no one likes to, like, these are awesome. They're momentum. It's like, here's what you're doing great. Here's what you can tell others about it. And here's your score. And here's how you stack up. And here's how you can do better. You start to see the different energy you can bring to these QBRs or these strategy sessions. If you start to see the power in this, can I just get a yes in the comments below? Also smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It really likes it when you do that, and so does my team. Also, if you are in that stage where you're building out the growth strategy, you're starting to figure out, well, how do we do the CSM piece? How do we do the sales piece, the marketing, product? I invite you to check out my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. Inside of that guide, I give you much more details on how to craft a one-page strategy for successful growth. It's completely free. I'll tell you more about it at the end of this video, but let's go to principle number 3, all right? Principle number 3 is you should then have a roadmap slide. This is super important. A lot of times CSMs forgot it or they couldn't quite drive the alignment with product to get that roadmap slide, but that's easily fixable. What you should absolutely have is, now that you've shown them, hey, here's what you've done really well, here's like how cool you are and what your score is, and here's the opportunities. You wanna like really put the cherry on top with saying, here's where we're going. Here's the big opportunities that are coming down in the roadmap. Here's even more stuff that we're going to be bringing to you. And what this does, it reinforces the fact that not only are you working hard to make sure they're successful, and you're going to continue to do that, and there's opportunities already on the plate, you're going to be the best in the business and going to innovate the most to show that you are a long-term partner. You do these 3 things, you will completely transform your QBRs, and people will love you, executives will love you, because you're gonna give them actual fodder to tell others, and you're gonna make it actionable for them. And that's super, super powerful. So to recap, give it a better name. Don't call it a QBR, call it a strategy session, for example. Number 1, start with action taken and business ROI delivered. Number 2, introduce the X score, show that they're doing well, show the benchmark, show opportunities for growth. And number 3, get them excited about the future and the partnership ahead, the roadmap, the vision, and also ask them for feedback. Ask them like, hey, what would you like? Make them advisors. They'll feel special and they'll actually want to help you even more. And always ask for a referral at the end of a QBR. Like, are there other companies, peers that would love using this platform, would love an introduction? And that's super powerful. Those are my core strategies to completely transform your QBR. And by the way, if you're in this stage where you're figuring out all these key pieces to drive growth for your SaaS business, be sure to check out my 5-point SaaS growth strategy guide. Inside of it, I go into much more detail on how to actually craft a one-page strategy for growth across all your key functions. All you need to do is go to getunstoppable.com/strategy. Getunstoppable.com/strategy. It's completely free. You can download it. It's awesome. Also, if you got value from this video, please smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. We put a lot of love into these videos, we put a lot of work into them. It just means a lot to us when you hit the like button. It means a lot to us when you share this with other founders. We want to help impact as many SaaS businesses and SaaS founders and SaaS teams as possible. And lastly, also remember, I drop a video like this 2 to 3 times a week with actionable strategies like this, because I've literally been through the trenches. I've done this, and now I'm helping others do it. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon if you haven't already. And lastly, remember, everyone needs a strategy for their life and their business. When you are with us, yours is going to be unstoppable. I'm TK. I'll see you in the next episode.